Hello, guys. After almost 20 days, we are back into one live play. Um, we have a chest to finish, and I have not much time, so I thought it's perfect time for make a new live video. And I hope we're gonna have exciting session. We'll see how I will play after for me a long time that I didn't play, because usually if I don't play 1 or 2 days I'm just playing really bad. So definitely I'm gonna try my best to not make it today like that. Okay, we ISO the rain. The fish player, we don't know much about him, which type of player he is. I mark him as a fish. His stats are like 16, 12, so passive on like a narrow range, which isn't something that usually how fish play. We're just gonna go now. We have ace king, we have ace 10, we have a lot of ace x basically that bet the flop, so we're gonna definitely bet the river. We're basically betting all of our ace x hands on the flop. Now we just want to think about the size that we want to use. I think this size is good. King 10 it will generally be double barreling, so I don't want to overbet, because when we think what is our when you're bluffing, you generally want to play like you play your most common value hand you're gonna have in that spot. So our mostly value hand is gonna be like ace x, ace 10, ace king, ace x, that we ISO. So we want to use the same size as we would use with this hand, and we wouldn't overbet it. We would just bet the normal size, 2/3, 3/4, doesn't matter, but we don't want to overbet. We want to bet the normal size. Ace 3 is just gonna fold, and I put myself on the wait list, because when I was going into the tables, uh, most of them were taken, and we just had to go into the wait list. Now when we have the full tables, we're just gonna concentrate on playing, and I really miss playing. I really missed it, and I just want to not. Now I'm not going anywhere. So next few months it will be a lot of hard work and grind, no time to rest, and I'm actually looking forward to it. So I will definitely. We're gonna go with the delay. So I'm gonna definitely make more videos, and we're gonna also do more of the study group in my Discord. We already did a couple of them, and I think we did a good job. I personally learned a lot, so all of you that want to work, that want to learn, you can do it with us. The best players from Stars are in our group. They're learning with us, and yeah, definitely I uh, I advise you, if you didn't join it, to join it. It's free. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna also have a good time. I'm personally having always a good time while learning. The people are really nice, and the like common goal is just to get better, to learn. And by this opportunity, I'm inviting every single one of you to join. Okay, we fold the jack 9, we're gonna fold queen 9, and I'm also inviting you, if you didn't check out the video of multi-way pods, because a lot of guys has asked me how do I play multi-way. They had trouble playing it. We had break it down in a solver, in a multi-way solver, where we actually give a guidance on across many boards how to play multi-way when you have when you're out of position. because that is the most difficult spot to be playing, and a lot of people are confused. They don't know what strategy to use. They mainly use the wrong strategy, and we gave a good uh, guidance how to play them and how to exploit people, other players that don't know how to play them. So definitely check out the video. And now let's go into the action. I'm eager to play. I'm gonna talk like every single of my thought process, and I'm just gonna try to play my best. Usually when I'm playing after a long break, and for me it's like 2 days long break to me, I'm just not playing my A game or B game. It's somewhere around C D game, and I'm gonna try to fix it now because I will be a lot more concentrated. And yeah, just let's get into it. We're gonna go 10.7 against Wadafu. Uh, 568. Basically, we're gonna do a lot of checking. I don't mind check range because when you see bet around 20-30%, I think checking range is a good strategy. Let's see how this guy reacts. So he's calling three bet range is narrower than normal, it seems, but it could be due to the sample. Turn is also like 7. Uh, he can check behind pocket sevens. We see that he's stabbing. Okay, in the three bet pots, he's actually stabbing a lot. We're gonna still check. I think checking is okay. On the ace 10 6, we're gonna have betting range. And what we want to do? Do we want to like block? I think we want to block. I think we want to block. And small bet on the turn on table number 4. And what we want to do on the river? Uh, Generally, our range will be a lot of ace-x hands and now two pairs, not too many straights. So actually, here I would do a lot of checking on the river because hand like king queen would continue betting an ace queen, and that's basically it. And he's gonna have hands like queen 10, probably queen 10 off, because his calling range is 50%. So he's gonna have more queens than we're gonna do. But this guy is passive as it gets, so we want to bet against him. So I'm gonna actually play exploitative. I'm not gonna block. I'm just gonna bet a little more than a half pot against this player. Generally against the reg, I would mostly check or really small like B10 or B15 because our sets and two pairs I think want to do this size. We're only calling when this guy is never bluffing, so we're chopping here. And table number 3, we have a clear call with pocket sixes against two doors, small blind versus cut of 14%. It's gonna be eights plus, ace jack off, king queen off. He bets range on most of the flops by his strategy here. He should be actually betting a lot. Size should be half is okay. I go personally bigger. I'm going like 2/3 or 80 on 379 on small blind. He should be betting a lot on the turn. So he now looks to me like a 9x. Pocket 10s, pocket 8s. We're gonna check with our sixes. We're just checking behind. He should be blocking with basically 10s with 8s, so think like it's a decent chance we are actually good here. He should definitely really bet the jack. And jack is a clear bet on the river. We are lacking a lot of 9x hands on cutoff. We have some, but also like some king 9 is 4 betting. So we actually are lacking 9x hands, and he's tributing always king 9, queen 9, jack 9. So yeah, he should be betting. He should be value betting there. I think he spared us there, but if he bet, I would just fold. pocket sixes in this line, because a lot of his bluffs will be just barreling the turn, hence like a king queen is double barreling, like a queen 10 is double barreling, hence like ace king with a blocker can double barrel. Uh, Also other ace kings that are blocking a hand like a king jack suited or queen jack suited can also barrel. So definitely a lot of bluffs are barreling the turn, and he looks like he has a hand. And I don't know why he didn't just block river or bet like 2/3. So when he checked, I was confused because like tens can be easily value bet there, and jack x. Also, he also has 9x. So definitely weird spot. Uh, it's never mind because we would fold. Pocket six is there, and we're gonna go 12.6. Deuce 10, folding a7. So guys, the thing is that now I'm just gonna put a lot of hard work. I'm gonna do a lot of study, and I'm gonna do a lot of playing. Um, uh, I My account on iPoker is ready, but I'm still waiting. Wait as I'm not sure entirely now will I be playing there, because it seems like scripts problem the reason why I didn't want to play there anymore, because of the scripters, and I didn't want to pay for script because first is that's basically it's officially prohibited, but the scripters have found a way to do it almost legally. Sites of iPoker didn't want to do anything about it before, and now when I saw news that the scripts are banned, I was hoping, okay, yeah, now I can just get back, because there on NL 400 you just can't get table without the script. I had my strategy was to open tables so I could get tables, but uh, if the table breaks, I just couldn't enter to any new table, and that's the main reason why I left. And now when I saw like a couple of weeks ago that scripts are finally banned, I was really looking forward to it, and I wanted to get back. But now my friend is saying that everybody's still using the script, so I'm gonna first try to see how the games are now, and then I will decide what I want to do. The good thing is that 888 Poker now has 888 Poker has now a good uh, rakeback, 50% of rakeback, and it has an L500 games running, and yeah, I'm basically open to play also there. I contacted the stars actually about my challenge because I don't get anything. I get only chests, and they they basically said we don't want to do anything about it. So I thought like just to give me that challenge, that will be around 30% of rakeback. I think 30-35. I would still stay playing here because I really enjoy Star Software. Uh, 10 is really good card for him. Really good, and we block some like 4-5 and ace 5. That is gonna be there. He has a massive amount of equity against our hand, so calling here is really bad because basically 9, 8, jack, almost anything that comes on the river will be bad. So now we can think like if the guy is pushing it over, do we want to jam as a bluff? We don't want to with pocket fives for sure, so we're just gonna be folding. And basically that's the end of the story. I contacted the support. I talked with them. I told them I really want to continue to play on stars, and I would be streaming. And yeah, I wanted to move on the bigger limits and everything, but uh, because I mean Here, there is no scripts, and there will never be scripts. You have the wait list, and the similar is on 888 Poker. There are still scripters there, but I actually don't care that much because when I go into the wait list, I'm just gonna get the table. But on iPoker, you basically they just automatically get the table, and you're like impossible to get in. And on L400, their table breaks all the time, and yeah, that's the main problem. So definitely, we don't need to rep anything. I'm just gonna bet or bet against a fish player. We rep like really nothing basically, and uh, the against the reg I would never do play like this, but against the fish I think doesn't matter. Their line is double check is really weak, so we just want to exploit that. If we bet like smaller size, they would be calling with ace highs, so we just overbet repped like pocket trees mainly on the river, or some slow played like sets from flop, but that's not very likely. Okay, so that's basically the story, whole story about it. So my goal here is just to get this like stay on my chest level, because still I'm gonna play sometimes on stars, and still I'm gonna play MTTs on stars, so I want to have the biggest chest level, and that's basically it. And from rest we will see. I'm not worried. I'm also having on super sport a lot of action every day. uh, there there's action on 500, a lot of heads up action on 500. Basically every day I play heads up there, so we will think about something, but I'm like really sad because I really enjoy Star Software really much. It's super software, way better than iPoker, way better than Super Sport Poker, and for me, it's most satisfying site to play on by far of every other site I played ever. Maybe Full Tilt back in the days like 2009 can compare to Stars, but it's like only site. Um, okay, let's now get back into the game. Against like an 8%, it's folding really strong hands there. Um, we can 4-bet as a bluff. We can also like get him in. The problem is we don't close the action, and we're against range of 8% hand. That king 10 suited is not really exciting to play. 50% there, folds a lot. So this guy is folding now the pocket pair, so he's gonna have the turn is connected to like 9-10, queen 10, queen 9. Nothing is folding on the turn. Um, he's gonna have really a lot of like all the middle pairs, and even like a bottom pairs. Now we're gonna have additional equity, and we don't block nothing, so our hand is check fold and turn. Deuce 4 we're gonna open. King 3 suited, we're gonna also be opening, folding. Yep, I'm gonna talk about every spot. That's the best way to get back into the shape. Just talking, range versus range interaction, talking about everything. That's the reason to get back fast. And we're gonna do exactly that. We see on table number 4, interesting hand. It's always interesting when somebody shows. We're just gonna see what happened. 4-bet pot, bet small, call, bet, call, jam. Okay, nicely played. We're gonna go 3-betting Matic, the guy that also I don't have any reads about him, so I don't remember when we actually played against each other. Ace Jack 8. We are betting range on the flop. We're gonna go 1/3 size. Turn, I'm gonna go with a check. Yeah, man, we're just gonna go big on the river. I don't think block has sense. We're just gonna get bigger. I think generally when players just check behind there, he didn't jam King Jack. When they check behind there, they're pretty capped to a middle pair or weak top pair, and King is not connected with their top pair, so we are safely value betting. And the only hand he can have basically is King 8 suited and King Jack off is also 4 betting, and he's falling like 60% to a 3 bet. So I don't expect a lot of King Jack off calling this type of players, but our river is safely value bet. We want to use bigger side. I don't think the block has any value there with ace queen. Um, he's gonna have a lot of hands like jack 10, queen jack, ace like deuce to ace 7. I think even this guy would like a check behind ace 10. So definitely if we are bluffing here with a hand like 4-5 suited or 5-6 suited, I'm gonna use just bigger size. Uh, I also can like go with a pot. I think it's also fine, but this is the line where they overbluff, where they overfold. So I can overbluff, and I don't need to just use like a big, like super big size because they will be bluffing too much. They will be folding too much. So I would just want to use size, which I'm gonna go 24.5. I'm just gonna use size that they would still be like not an easy spot. Like if I bet really big, they can just have an easy fold with the Jack X, and maybe they can even fold like some weak Ace X hands. This type of players. It's like when to show them 22. Yep, definitely toning down like 2/3 is good. If you go bigger, the guy will be just having easy time just folding because this type of players just like to fold anyway, so you're just going into their way. But the thing is, the pool in this spot when they check behind, they're super capped. They're super capped basically on the hand that they're gonna have now, like a Jack X and the weak Ace X, and basically you can do whatever you want. There's like no right or wrong in that spot. If you want to go really big, you can just balance it and putting all the bluffs there. If you want to get bet smaller, if you want to manipulate the range and have the smaller bet and the bigger bet size, mixing it across all the sides with various hands, you can also do that. Three jack jack, we're gonna bet range against the cutoff of 10%. We're gonna double barrel. He calls. Let's see, cutoff is smaller around 10%, so he's gonna call pairs. He should be floating king queen. I'm gonna go like this. This guy doesn't have a jack off in the range. Yeah, we are bluffing here king queen with a heart. We're bluffing king queen with a heart. We're bluffing hand like ace king with a heart, but with ace 4 we don't block basically nothing. And when this player calls the turn, he's falling like 71%. I think it's really high chance that he has a jack or like a draw and strong draw. So we're just gonna give up the river. Um, Turn we can go check. The hand is not three streets, so we need to choose. With the king 9, actually, I'm like really okay with checking back with the heart there and easily call there on the river. He gets the second pair on the river. Our hand is really nice as a call now. Okay, we block with 9 some bluffs, but but still we have a king of hearts. So definitely clear call on the river. The guy is I mean, super passive on the river, but I still don't know him. And when we check back, we look really, really capped. Ace3 I'm gonna call against Andre, and this is the spot we want to donk. He should be checking behind range on the 5-6-7, so donking has a lot of sense. He shouldn't be raising very often. But he's just really bad player. He, I mean, he's gonna play like these pocket tens, jacks, queens. He's gonna actually when we donk, he's gonna raise the bluff still. Uh, that's why I re-raised. And here my range is so massively strong that uh, I want him to do this. Not with my exact hand, but I want him to do this with his or pairs. He just doesn't think about his range at all. Checking range on table number two. He doesn't think about his range because if he's thinking about his range, he should be knowing that when I donk there, he should be calling really, really a lot. But he's also, if I check there, I mean, I don't need to donk because if I check there, he would be betting almost range. That's how he just doesn't aware, he isn't aware of the range. Now we're gonna donk turn. Do we want to donk turn a6, 5? Hmm. Yeah. If I know more about him, I can donk the turn. Now is the thing, do we want to jam here or call? We're gonna hit a lot of hands like ace queen and ace king here, and we want to mainly call this hand, so I'm gonna call this. He's rapping really polar when he steps the turn. He's saying he has a two pair plus. We are calling the river always. And he has what he repped. If I know more about him, there wouldn't be a need for me to protect my range. Um, he looks just like a nit and like he's gonna always have what he's repping. And here we're gonna go with an overbet with our hand. Pocket sevens we're gonna call. People struggle to find the bluffs in this spot, so we're gonna put definitely there. We're gonna have a bunch of hands like a king jack, king queen with a king of hearts. So definitely we're gonna go with this is the spot that is really underbluffed and people struggle to find bluffs there. So I think it's really nice to get this type of pots. So when they stab on this ace, he's saying he has a two pair plus. And against this type of player, I mean, we talk about our range has a lot of ace queen, ace kings. We're gonna basically check our hold range, and we're gonna when he steps, we're gonna sometimes check raise some over pairs, but mainly call like aces, kings, queens. We're gonna check raise even some ace x hands, and we're gonna call some ace queens, ace kings. So definitely when the ace hits, it's better for us because we're gonna have these top pairs, but we're not gonna have these sets a lot and like two pairs. And then the thing is, uh, if I know more about him, I would go said, okay, I want to donk there against him or not, like we donk against Andre. Uh, that was also generally the board we want to donk and a hand that wants to donk, but Andre was the type of player that we don't want actually to donk against because he's not aware about the range, and he would just raise against me any overpair, and that's not the spot we want to be. And I want to also, when he raised, he's gonna still raise some like random hands because he's spew player. Gonna call. We are clear call with a 10 three-way, and let's see his 4-bit range. Yeah, he has 8% of range there, and against him we're gonna bet turn. When he check behind here, I think he's just gonna give up basically. On this 10, he's gonna have ace 10 off quite often in a 4-bit bluffing range. So he should be betting, I would say, like most of the range on the 8, 5, 8, 5, 10. His range is consisting of overpairs and bluffs, and a lot of bluffs have like a 10, especially off bluff with the ace 10 off, which is massive 3 max. Uh, Ace 10, even 6 max, ace 10 off is really, really frequent 4-bet. So his range will be like ace 10 off, some ace jack off, some king queen off, and all of these hands, maybe except an ace jack, doesn't want to bet. So jacks, his 4-bet range for value is 10s plus. So 10s, jacks, queens, kings, and aces, of course, wants to bet. So hand like king queen want to bet, hand like ace 10 off obviously want to bet. So I think betting range is the way to go. And when the player doesn't bet there, I think he just is giving up basically. We're gonna go small on the turn. And I don't know the player, but I still feel my hand is good in these spots. He looks like 8x or pocket 9 sevens. It's limpid pot, so I don't see like any logic to check 10 on the turn and only call here. But okay, against our size, which is 5-7. This is his tribute range. It's 11%. If we want to play like a mass exploit against him, we would do a lot of 4-betting, a lot of folding against like 11 to 12%. Okay. We're gonna step our deuces. And I'm gonna use, we can go 1/3 here. Betting with deuces on the turn. I think it's good. I think their like checking range is bad, and when he's gonna have like a ace x, and we can get off ace x player like this 24 went to showdown tight. We are also deep, so we can definitely get him win. Now I don't like this. He's gonna have like 9x here, like a jack 9, but he's gonna have also like 4 5 5 6 that we're beating. So I'm just gonna check behind. He's like random 3 6 suited. This is his like on my tables when he's playing. He's actually I think winning But I just can't mark him as I mean, he's so bad, so easy to play against, so many leaks. So guys, if you see like this player is winning on stars, that's the sign for you to learn to study, because just like a little bit of studying, you can just crush guys like this. And we're just gonna check behind deuce 4-9. When I didn't bet the turn, I don't think that now it has sense for me to open the river. That's the main thing there. So now if we expect things like that, he's check raising 22%, and we have like a low pairs, a lot of low pairs. But yeah, if I just check out the HUD, it would be way better for me if I did check the HUD. But I was impatient, and I was getting punished. Because if I check the HUD, I would just bet the turn, because like we call king queen, we're gonna call like ace highs, and we will be betting them on the turn. So I missed definitely opportunity there to take the pot. Let's see, this guy, I have one read about him. Okay, going with all bets for thinner value. That's the read I have on him. On Jack deuce 3, I'm gonna go 1/3. We can use two different strategies. We can have a bigger size here. If I'm using this strategy, I'm gonna have 1/3 and put like tens and nines in that range, or I will do a lot of bigger bets or checking, which has also sense. We're gonna play it like this. I think we just want to bet big there. I'm just thinking, do I want to, against this player, do I want to even jam? Let's see, he's checking behind turn range. Yes, he's having really weak range. I'm just gonna jam there. Easy value jam against this guy. And I would be like bluffing everything here, so yeah. We just play our image, guys. We play our image. Our image is not great. We have to admit that. Yesterday I had ridiculous hand that I put on the Discord, where I get called with a check raise on the flop, bet turn, shove river, with a hand that can't even beat any bluff. And I was snap call on the river. So check that out. Check that hand out in my Discord if you're interested. Really, really crazy hand. So we need to fix our image, guys. We need to be more tighter and show them that we have hands, that we can get hands. Or we can do something else. We can exploit that image, cut down the bluffs against some players, and we're going to write this read also. And I don't think the ace queen is like good, because with ace queen he's blocking a king queen that can potentially play like this will hand like a queen 9. Uh, Again, a player that I don't know. I would generally tend to check raise against a player that I know, that I know what I can expect, how his range looks like. We see the guys opening UTG 45%, middle position 9%, so something is wrong there. And I want the players that I can range, that I can identify what they are doing, and if not, we're just gonna wait until we have a better idea about what they are actually doing. I'm just gonna write the read. We're gonna three bet a7 suited. We're gonna go with we can mix calls there. Actually, he's falling to three bet 60%, and we can just let the big blind in. So mixing call with ace queen is good. 479 actually really big frequency of betting on the 479. I'm gonna use two thirds. Our big blind range is polar, and I have hands like a king nine, queen nine, jack nine, but also I have hand like 7 9, jack nine, 7 9, 9 10, uh, hand like a 6 9 suited. Uh, we have so we have decent amount of 9x hands, and on the turn I'm gonna go 1/3. Um, we don't have all of the ace jack combos. We don't have ace 10 off, so this ace is not the greatest card for us because now all of our overpairs. We're calling with the ace queen there. So we are betting 1/3, and the river I think um, it's also a decent check on the river. I'm gonna go with the overbet here with raise 10. We get called by tens. I'm not sure about the river with a raise 7, but also I think we want to play our image, but just based on the range, I don't mind also block the river. But I mean, I bet 2/3 I can like jam even queens. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check this spot out. I'm gonna write in my notebook. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna bet big on the ace queen nine. I'm gonna check this spot, guys. I'm gonna check this spot mm, because I'm not sure. Like with ace nine, I think check has more sense on the river. But do we actually want to have like checks on the river when we bet the turn when the ace pair? I mean, now I want to still bet like tens, jacks, queens for value. So that's the thing I'm not sure about. So we're gonna write that down. A7 suited. The board was 9 7 4. Big blind versus button trivet. Okay. I'm gonna go with the check. If he's checking there, we're gonna go with the bet check bet. And against him, I will actually go with the raise. With the raise like this. We're gonna still have a lot of hands like a king x, king 9, king 8 that we're gonna check behind. And I see that his blocking range is weak, but we're just getting snapped by the hand that I'm not sure without a club is a call. I don't think it's ever block bet on the river actually, because we're gonna have massive amount of the queen x that check behind. So definitely I don't think the jack 10 can bet. So I actually like my raise. We're gonna have also ace queen there, and yeah. So definitely I think we want to raise it, especially against his bet fold is like 100% almost. But again, maybe we should play our image. Our image is not great. We're gonna check behind on the turn here. And I'm gonna check behind and lose the river. We're gonna call and put him in the flop. Put him in. Let him join the party. Checking behind. Really low C bet. Let's see his double check how he behaved. So delaying 32, delaying bet river, delaying range. Um, I'm gonna actually now attack and bet the turn. Okay, flop one. Checking, checking. Flop position. Up. Okay, 5-10 we're gonna call. I just want to see what was the correct suits on the hand with where we had pocket tens. I just want to see the suits. Okay. I wanted to see. Okay. Okay. We write that read about because I think the read will be useful in the future. The read will definitely be useful. Um, there's a thing, do we want to write reads in game or not? I'm not sure. When I write it in game, I lose time, but if I don't do it in game, I can I can lose my thoughts, my exact thoughts in this situation. So I actually write to read them in game. But I also know that a lot of people are against it. So yep. Yeah, I think you just need to just see what is best for you. If you like to do it in game or off tables, but if you do it off tables, you will generally lose your thoughts in that exact spot in this exact situation. So that's the reason for me it's better in game. But you lose something, right? When you do it in game, you're not focused anymore. We're gonna mainly check call with queen 10 on 4-4-10. And now we're gonna go with, let's see, he skips it and fold the river. 63. So against him, we just want to block, protect our pocket 5, 6s, 7s. Even our hand is really, really strong and can easily overbet. King 5-9, we're gonna go 1/3. Ace King is gonna be checking. Um, yes, I'm double barreling here. I'm not gonna have any overbet range there, and we're gonna go with an overbet in this situation. We are uncapped. We can have set there because on the 3-5-6 we're gonna check range, small versus big blind, and we're gonna go overbet the river. We're gonna go B 150. 5-6 off. We're gonna open 4 max. On a 6 max, I'm also opening it. I actually like to play it. Okay, table number 2, we got a 4-6. Here generally we prefer a bigger size. Our bet size is also okay on the ace king 7 against like cutoff versus big blind, big button versus big blind. Really nice size. It really put in a tough spot immediately a lot of hands, a lot of king x hands, hands like a queen jack, queen 10 now can't call. Is he gonna check raise them as a bluff? We are tributing 4-10 suited. Our bluff's gonna be a lot of this. I would want to use a bigger side. I think I'm gonna go still 1/3. Let's go into the big blind versus small blind pop up. I'm gonna double barrel. We have a massive range advantage. I think we want to bluff like on any like 10, queen, king. I'm just jamming here now. We also have some king 10 off. And we have king 10 suited always. And I think we can just easily jam hand like ace jack plus for value without problems. Like even ace 5, I think I can jam. He's not gonna ever have a straight there. And ace queen against him is highly unlikely. The way he play, he would check raise ace queen, he would check raise pocket fives. So most likely he's gonna have like jack x or ace x on the river, and these hands against the shove will be definitely in a tough spot. King 10 against the nit, against a bigger size, it's almost 4x. I'm gonna check behind there. Sometimes you need to have across all the boards all type of hands. So when we check behind, we want to have straight. When we bet, we want to have straight on the runouts. So definitely, we can check some aces there. Okay, I'm gonna call, and we're gonna bet river. We're gonna have here weaker ace x hands. We're gonna definitely have a king queen there. Checking with pocket jacks. And checking behind. We're gonna fold there. And on the river, we will go big. I mean, we can even raise the river. Um, our range of raising would be like ace 10 plus. We have king queen. So we want to raise with the size that has sense as a bluff, like 12. But this time I'll also play my image, and I will not gonna do it. And here we're gonna go 1/3 against, I think it's middle position against the big blind. Checking back. table number one, his size doesn't have sense. You see, like, his value range should be like ace queen here. So he should be blocking. If he is betting this size, his value range should be ace queen. And that he's gonna have off. So I would use like a block size and orbit size in this situation. Gonna fold. But generally, when you don't know what to do, you can just bet 2/3. But I just don't like 2/3 there because, like, maybe it's okay. Not sure. Personally, I think like ace queen can go into orbit also, like slight orbit, like B125. To me, it looks like a good spot. Like, and you want to block also, and I think two, these two are good. Smaller, we're definitely gonna continue betting on turn, and yeah, but think we're gonna bet like this. Blocking ace queen is really nice, and having the diamond blocker. We are attacking the pocket pairs here mostly. We're gonna show him because this would be like really frequently bluff on the river. Like any 8, 10, king, diamond, I would shove. The thing is now that I saw that he's like cutoff versus small blind, he has 17% calling range. That's a lot wider than the GTO. So this guy will have here hands like 7-9 suited, for example. He's gonna have all of the king 9, queen 9, jack 9 suited hands. So definitely he's gonna be wider, but still we want to, especially because he can be wider, our hand, and now we need to fold this, unfortunately. This would be a 4-bet bluff with ace queen in these positions. Three nine, 3-9. It's against the cutoff. But in this situation, he will have more trips. That's the also key point. But our ace jack, I think. Against this player, we will be betting folding 71. Let's see what he generally calls against the c-bet. Against less than a half pot, ace jack on the king jack. He had ace jack suited, calling big blind versus button. So yeah. Sixes are calling, of course, with the backdoors and a small size. We're gonna continue to call. Our range wants to call. We still have a lot of hands, like a jack X. I'm gonna bet small on the 2-7. And now we just want to think what we want to do. He looks to me like a give up. I think he can still have a jack X. But generally he looks to me as a give up. I'm just gonna put 2/3 here. I don't know much about this guy after check, check, check. I'm just gonna fold pocket tens actually. Generally when they check raise and they bet turn when they are checking the river, because there is no intention here ever to check, because we can easily check behind hand like a jack 10. So I don't see like many incentive to check with value in this situation, because you will lose a lot of value by checking. For example, if you have here in like a pocket fives, now you go with the check, and I check behind jack 10, and you want to obviously bluff in this spot. So there's in this line, when they check raise and bet turn, when they checking the river, it's gonna be mostly check folding. So I want to think what size I want to use, and now we want to think, maybe do we want to manipulate the range and maybe introduce in these situations 1/3 size. It's not that bad idea, because with 1/3 you're basically mostly against a range that's gonna check fold, and now suddenly this 1/3 size can have two effects. Your bluff is gonna be cheaper, and second, you can induce like a bluff raise. So definitely, when I think about it, it's not a bad spot for doing it, and I didn't do it. It also, it's opponent related, because if you think his check raising range will include a lot of jack x hands, but when the turn is a 6, I don't think hand like a queen jack that check raise the flop will be barreling the turn with the 2/3 size, you know. So he's still polarized on the turn, saying like he has like a 2 pair, like even king jack or ace jack, when they bet like on the turn with this bigger size, maybe ace jack can, but like a queen jack or king jack will definitely not gonna be playing like this. So immediately the thing is that I don't think we would like see here jack x, and the reason why we want to get bigger is to get value from a jack x. But if we don't think he's gonna have jack x, and I actually don't think he's gonna have it in this line, that he's gonna be like polar, and he's gonna have like a full house that's trapped, and it's gonna rarely be like that, and a give up, I think then 1/3 is better. So in this, actually this situation, I prefer 1/3 size, and I think I should have done it. But that's that rust, always that some small things that you don't do it. He forfeited ace 10 off in this, which is never a four bet, and suddenly he's checking like we're gonna go with the four bet here. Yep, he is definitely, and he's checking ace 10 on the river. Insane. We're gonna turn on the size a little bit. We're gonna go small, and we're gonna go delay here, and we're gonna go small on the 9-10 queen. Clear call on table number 4. Board on the multi-way of 3-8-10, and the guy is really tight, 25%. He opens small blind, so he's gonna be isolating way less than that. Even here it says 55%. It was only king queen and ace queen, so it can be like 10%. We don't know. Again, called 4 bet on table number 3. When this guy steps, I'm just gonna fold. When this super tight guy steps, he's gonna have it. Ace 8, clear call, 3-8 queen, 3-8 king against 29%. Now we're 4 max, is gonna be like probably around 30%. So he's gonna have like all the gappers, suited connectors, ace 5 off in the range. He's gonna bet range in this spot, so we can check raise ace 8. I'm gonna actually do it. We are folding table number 4. 3-6 off. 3-6 off. We're gonna be folding and we're gonna three bet king 9 suited. King 7. He's opening like this because of this guy probably. King Jack is three betting. And a7 is gonna be folding. King 10 open. Ace deuce off open. And guys, I'm also planning to make a stream, and I'm gonna plan to do it more often. This summer, I mean, I was off and on, going away pretty often, so I didn't want to stream a lot because I couldn't be committed. I was like leaving every 2 weeks somewhere, and that's the reason I didn't want to do it. But now when I have the time and I will be working a lot and playing and studying and everything in between, I will have more time definitely, and I will be also streaming because a lot of guys on my Discord said when you're gonna make streams, uh, because when I'm making like a live video, there is no like that much of the there's no that much of um, interaction between us. I mean, I will still like answer all of your questions and anything, but there's no live like live interaction, and I was just jamming. He also has a queen. Think ace queen should be jamming the turn pretty often and king queen, but he wants to probably protect range against me. How we're calling pocket jacks. Let's see in a 4-bit pot how he plays. Our range is actually like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, aces, kings I will also have. I'm gonna call it pocket jacks. We're gonna raise some kings, some aces, some queens on the flop. We're gonna always call with 8s and 10s. Let's see his checking range generally. We're just gonna go small. We're gonna also have 9s in this spot. Jacks still need protection a lot. And this guy would just jam or turn with a flush draw, so I'm not worried that much about it. We're gonna still play our image. He should be having some 10x like king 10 in the range, king 10 suited, some jack 10 suited that we actually block. But king 10 suited, some ace 10 suited. I'm gonna jam Aurelio. He can have some aces play like this, but generally how he play against me, he would be just jamming with a flush draw. So he's gonna be like capped in this spot, and we would be jamming jacks against him. have also really good advice for you. Um, in in the Discord, I get a lot of questions like with the GTO solvers and stuff, and uh, this the like GTO, all GTO strategy around is basically around uh, not getting equity of your opponent realizing. That's the key of the GTO because you have the two strategies in equilibrium, and in a lot of situation in today game like GTO, it's always great to know it's like foundation. GTO is foundation, but exploitative poker will is key to increase your EV in any spot by exploiting your opponents and not like just not letting realization of equity of your opponent strategy. So in the exploit world, you are actually giving your EV a lot of boost with your exploit strategies because they will have more EV than a GTO strategy if you're doing it correctly. So definitely that's the one take. So the GTO is foundation. You want to know the GTO, but as soon as you know GTO, you want to uh, work and just learn how to exploit people that don't play GTO or near GTO. We're just gonna call here. We're mainly gonna call range on the King 10. We're not gonna have raising range, even against like 10% bet, which is also good in this situation. He can play like this jacks. He can play like this queens, tens, king X, aces. He can play all of these hands like this. We're just gonna be calling the turn. He can now easily jam 10x, even like pocket nines. We're gonna fold ace jack. The thing is, he can also jam ace queen, and his bluffing range will be a lot of ace 10 off. He has like a king queen off, king jack off, ace queen off. Monster draw we had. So that's the key takeaway there. Exploitative poker will boost up your win rate. It will definitely have big effect on your game and on your win rate. And actually I'm gonna go with the orbit here, and we're gonna go with orbit there, and clear 4-bet here. People versus button 14%, and we see that he has queen 7 suited, so he will be using polarized range. So that's the reason I'm not getting any bigger against a polarized range. This size is perfect because queen 7 still can call a 4-bet. Ace king against ace king. So all of the crushers, all of the red liners are playing exploitatively, and they're good in exploiting. And a lot of GTO bots are breaking it even or losing, slightly losing, because GTO strategy is basically the key foundation of GTO strategy is assumption that two strategies are playing perfect against each other. That's like key thing, and that will never happen in the real games. So you can lose a lot of EV playing against un-GTO players, unbalanced players, unperfect players playing a perfect strategy and like bluff catching all of the catches all of the good hands that are really great in vacuum to bluff catch against guy that are unbalanced. It's way better to have reads, way better to know, understand what are they doing and how to exploit them than just to play blind GTO. Because if you're not using your brain with GTO, you're just leaving money at the table, and solver is just a pointer in a direction and nothing else. Just a pointer into direction that you want to know, and yeah, the rest is on you. And that's why I always like reads, how reads are crucial. Reads are really, really crucial in today games. Uh, Especially when you like go to the mid stakes and high stakes, because you will be playing a lot of same opponents, and getting to know them is something that will give the biggest edge to you. That is your bread and butter. Knowing your opponents, their tendencies, uh, understanding how they think, how they play, and yeah, that's the key takeaway. Then that's the key thing we want to do. And we have a clear bet check bet there. We're gonna use like 2/3 size. We saw in that hand that he is blocking the appropriate range, so he can block here a queen against us and call a raise because he just see us spewy. Okay, and here I'm gonna actually check behind. We want to have in a check behind range also hands like ace king. Generally, I want to bet without the ace of spade. And now we're just gonna go with big overbet. If you never check behind ace king, you will never have a straight when the flop is checked behind. And we're just jamming the river. And also we're gonna have a lot of hands like ace x, like ace 3, ace 4, ace 6, ace 7 off. A lot of them will be having a contain of ace of spade. So we're gonna be jamming here, or bet jamming. Table number 3, we have clear call. He's stabbing again 2/3 in this spot. He's now wrapping a king basically with a block. He's wrapping a king. We have just a call. King jack, basically. King 10, king jack is the kings he's gonna have. And king 9. We are against anarchy. And I'm gonna check behind. Against this guy, I'm gonna fold to 3-bet. I'm gonna go overbet. Clear call here. Really good river for ours because a lot of our check back call turn is 10x. If he checks, we're going to use normal size, like we're going to do with the king 10, 2/3. Little less. Pretty, pretty weird call by Anarchy. We're going to mostly have trips there. He can get significant value there with jamming. I'm just gonna bet 2/3 now. He looks like a 10. Probably has a 10. Has a 10. I'm gonna fold there. Yeah, we did. I mean, we didn't get away because we if he raised, we don't have any decision. We are just folding. But definitely, if we had there like a ace 10 or king 10 with especially with the heart, and he when he would jam there, it would be hard to get away from it. And we really look like a trips mostly, not anything stronger than trips. Anarchy just gave us he didn't want to take the pot, so or he probably knew I was bluffing, so he wanted to see my hand. That's also a possibility. But if we had 10 there, and especially had like ace 10 with the heart, and yeah, we would be in a tough spot. But now we wouldn't be because we didn't have anything. Table number 4, we're calling his betting range. He's having polar range, a lot of shit hands like king 7 off, queen 7 off, ace deuce off, ace 3 off. And what we want to do with the ace 9 is a question. Against the double barrel guy that's gonna have like queen 7 in turn double barreling range and the deuce 4, deuce 3 4, we're just gonna call. And we're gonna 3-bet here. And we're gonna check the river and call bet. And we're gonna go small. Stabbing a return, okay, let's give him the chance. And he has a nuts that he didn't jam on a 3-bet. He just wanted to take the flop with pocket jacks. 32 deep, big blinds deep, okay. Strange, but okay. He trapped us, we have to be honest. He did. Played perfect against our hand. 9-10 suited, we can call and let the big blind in. I'm just gonna check, fold the 5s. And we are stabbing always if we get the chance. We worked on this spot in our multi-way solve. Really aggressive stab of button. Button has the strongest range. Button wants to be stabbing a lot. And we're gonna be stabbing. We're gonna use mainly this size. We're gonna call it check raise with 9-10. And actually we're not gonna do anything. Overbetting here. I think we want to put pressure with a range, but with all the really strong ace-x hands that we're gonna have. The turn got checked. What's going on? So rev up looks like 8x. What a few. There's a two choice. He was trapping with full house on the turn because I don't think the guy will be bet check bet or bet shoving against the fish in this situation. Let me see if the turn was check. I'm not sure. Yeah, the turn was check. So he looks like pocket eights. And the guys, from what I remember, really passive on rivers. Yes, there's absolutely no chance this guy would bluff a guy like this in this spot. And I don't like the turn check because you're gonna still have all of the overpairs there, and you're gonna play overpairs like this. So he's gonna raise. You're not gonna have call range there, so you're gonna mostly be raising, and you want to raise tens, jacks, queens. And now the turn is 5. It's like perfect for your hands to get value and protect. So I would be like continue betting with small size always. He didn't do it. We're gonna go with the donk on the turn, and we're gonna go now with a 3x on the river and raising here. Against a really tight passive guy. We're just gonna call now. I'm just thinking about his range. And super tight guy did something like this, which is super tight fish. Super passive fish, let's say like that. I didn't slow roll him, I just in my head wanted to think, okay, what he's actually repping there. Is he repping basically a set, I would say. It was limped, but I mean, two pair can maybe play like this also, but when we raise, we're actually saying we're gonna have all combinations of 4-5 off in a check behind range against the limp. So that's the reason. Why I don't think you can do it with two pair. Basically, that's it. I'm gonna go 2/3. Again, this is exploit our hand. Mainly we want to block, but against this type of players, I'm just gonna use this size. Generally, what we want to do when it's action like this and he check behinds, he's pretty capped. So I would mostly block or bet 2/3. Doesn't feel right to me. It just doesn't feel right. But against the fish, I think it's good. We're gonna go with the delay. We're gonna have a lot of ace highs in checking behind range. Uh, we have to bet the river, and I'm just gonna use half pot. He's still gonna call some hands like a king 9, king 8 of diamonds. Some hands like a 5-8 of diamonds, 4x of diamonds. And I think we really look like ace high here. Yeah, anarchy calls with pocket sevens. That's actually the way we want to get with our A6. Again, our image, not great. Our image is definitely not great. And one also really crucial thing is to always be aware of your table image. Crucial thing. Because you can have a perfect bluff, and that perfect bluff can be 10 out of 10 times unsuccessful. And it's a perfect bluff, you want to bluff it. That's the problem. You always be aware of your image. If your image is bad, just try to get more value hands. I'm gonna call ace jack against 30% and betting range. He's having c-bet. His c-bet is 90%, so his betting range here. I'm gonna actually go with an or bet here to mainly attack pocket pairs because he's kept in this line. A really shitty river. Anarchy checks. We're gonna check behind on jack 8-9. Let's see anarchy strategy. Small blind versus big blind. Anarchy is one of my best opponents. We also work together. A really good guy. But on the table, when we play against each other, there is no friendship ever. We want to crush each other. That's the goal. He didn't bluff the river, okay. And there we're gonna go with the big race. On a poker table, there is no friendship, and like when I play any game, when I play Catan or any board game, I just want to win. So there is no easy when I play poker. When I'm playing against my sister, I want to crush her. When I play basically any game, I want to win. So definitely, we're just gonna block here with kings. So definitely queen 10 turn into bluff, random turn into bluff. The problem here we have a king, and a thing like a king high we are blocking that's turning into bluff. So now we need to turn into bluff hand like threes, fours, or something like that. He's wrapping basically 9. I don't think he's doing it with like a 6. I'm gonna fall there. Turning king high into bluff has sense, hand like a king 10. But when we have kings, it's gonna be rarely happening. Just checking behind 3, 4, 6. We're gonna check behind aces, kings, and queens pretty often. Now we're gonna go with the delay, and we're gonna have all of these overpairs in a range. And also when I play live poker, I generally never talk to anybody at the table. I just like strictly focus in the game. And it looks unfriendly, but when you're playing any game, you're not there to make friends. We can be friends after the game, but generally when you're playing, like, and also don't understand people who are like, okay, I understand if they're gonna try to get like fun, but I mean, the key of the game is I missed click. King 9. I'm gonna go again with stabbing the turn, smaller size. So even if I'm playing for fun, I'm 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 there to win. So I don't know, like, I don't like making friends at poker tables. Call call. We're gonna bet range against that range. Probably like a lot of pocket pairs. We're blocking sixes. That's not great. Generally, he shouldn't be having this call call range, so I don't know how his range looks like. I can just guess. Mostly on my experience, what I see in this situation. Generally, I see different stuff. Sometimes people call with ace queen off, sometimes they have pocket fours. So generally, yeah, something that should never be happening. But like this, that's why the reason, like, I think this guy is really bad. We're gonna. I mean, we can even fold this hand now. He's like UTG range in this overbet. I mean, um, he's really very heavy. You see, like, this middle pair is for value. Draw is hard to be there, and we're not gonna overbet. We're just gonna bet 2/3 because it's really good turn for us. And against anarchy, I'm gonna give up basically here. I think we're gonna get called 100% of time there. I want to bluff on like 8 queen. I mean, on queen I have a hand. I want to bluff on 8, on 9, 8 7, 8 7. Basically most than 8 7 I want to be bluffing. And I missed there. I was in that hand up. Against Andre, we just want to raise actually the turn there because he's sub mergy raise, and our hand is full of equity, and I think we just want to raise him and put his like this hands like this that he's gonna have. We also saw that he check raised the bottom pair in the spot, like such a mergy check raising in position. I think we just want to punish that with raise immediately. He would be calling and I would be jamming river. And that is what we should have done if I weren't in my head with that hand with the king. Queen 9, anarchy against us. There's no way we would fold him out on this brick. If anarchy called there, there's no way he's folding the river against us. I'm just thinking now my size on the river, what I want to be like. My my most common value bet would be 10x, so I think we need to round that. I don't think we want to have an overbet. I think we just want to have a big bet, like, I would think around 16 is the way to go. around 16. I think it's good. Let's see in the small blind versus big blind how he plays. You see, like really rarely check folding, mostly medium strength hands, some traps. We're gonna go 1/3. C bet check call check fold really low also. So I don't expect folds on the turn, guys. And the key that we will need to bluff the river. And I don't like my size actually. Yep. I don't like my size. I think we want to get bigger. We will be checking a lot here. We will not be stabbing much. I mean, 7 is good for us. So that's indication that we can stab. We have 5-6 off. We have 7-8 off in the range. And 5-6 off is actually with 5-6 suited. It's 16 combinations and 12 combinations of 5-6 off. So definitely 7 is good for me because I have queen 7. I have 7-8 off, 5-6 off. But generally, I still think we need to just with our value bets like 2%, 5-6 we want to get bigger, and I just clicked 1/3 without. It was subconscious, and I made mistake. You see, like that's happening after a pause. You play a hand completely without sense in that spot. Why? I don't know. Our size didn't have any sense. And definitely I think we want to check or bet bigger. With the king 9 I think we can go either way. We want to see if we can attack that range, and I think he defends this range really a lot. We see a lot of top pair hands, like top pairs, like some like lower straights, even some sets are in the range. So definitely when he check calls there, he's gonna have a lot of strong hands. So we now want to think if we will be able to profitably bluff him on the river. The thing is that on the river he's also not folding that much against us. So it's against us that will be even lower. So we just need to think if our range can take that, if we have a lot of value bets that we can compensate on like bluffing really much in this spot. Even with a hand like king 9 that is pretty much a bad bluff I think. So I think it's like we floated the flop against 30%, which I think it's okay, not the best, but it's okay. Against most opponent, you're gonna have good opportunities on the turns and rivers, but I don't think this was that opportunity, especially with my size. I made mistake. So yeah, and I made a few mistakes. I made a few misclicks. We're gonna check raise, and we're gonna overbet, and gonna bet small on a jack 3-6, where I would need a check range, but against the fish, which is not stabbing anything, I would just make her realize equity, and I don't want to do it, so I will be betting. He's not stabbing, he's playing passive. His range is wider than the GTO, like 4 times wider, so I think it's better way not to check range than just to bet. Um, we have a really nice check calling hand. He had auto. He had auto check fault. So just gonna go with the block river. He had out. He doesn't have anything, so yeah. Really small size, trying to I don't know. Try to make him do something stupid. Big size here. I'm gonna check call it 8-9. I will be facing double barrels really frequently there, and we are 4 betting jacks always and tens a lot, so we're gonna leg strong hands here. and we're gonna really like strong hands. So that's the big problem. So if you go like check raising a lot, GT will be check raising like a queen jack and king jack. That's the way the GT will play. And putting in draws. I think some of ace queens with the ace of hearts will be there. King queen, I think mostly calling. King queen of hearts and clubs for sure, mostly calling. We don't have a king queen off in the range. It's middle position versus cutoff. We don't have it in range. So based on the strength of our range and that we are lacking sets, I have deuces. GTA doesn't have deuces. I have it, so I have at least these poker deuces in the range. We're gonna bet there those three. We work this spot in multi-way, and I will be checking behind. Calling river. I mean, we can love jam, but against this SPR, there's no sense for that. I'm gonna call. We're gonna go slightly bigger here. Let's see, cold throw. This guy cold throw, but really a lot with a lot of shitty hands. Small bet here. This guy will have like everything. 35% of range. He's gonna have Jack 8 suited, A Jack off, pocket nines, and we face a jam 150 blinds. And we get the perfect situation, perfect scenario. Okay, the perfect would be against an ace king. And we did survive here, which is good. Big setup, nothing the guy can do. Pocket trees are folding. And against him, I will be calling ace 5, not gonna check raise it. The guy falls to check raise 60%, if I remember correctly, 52%. And also against him, donk the river. Because when this guy double barrels, he has it. He just has a hand. You see, like, don't see any air, so he always has it. There's no any draw possible there, except like a spades, but not many combinations. So he's gonna mostly have it. And this guy will never bluff the river. That's the also thing. Look at his triple barrel, 38, 37% aggression frequency, 29. Never ever bluffed in his life with a triple barrel. So if we check, we would never ever face a bluff. So what we want to do there? We're gonna call Jack 9. We have two fish on the small blind and the big blind. Definitely want to let them in. We have a hand that is playing good. Two thirds Jack 9 6. His c-bet is really low, so he's gonna have all the strong hands in the range. Let's see his check calling range. Check raise. That's good. This guy would check raise pocket sixes always. That's good. for us. We're definitely betting turn. And we get a shitty river. The river that we just have to check behind. Uh, he's gonna have pocket tens really frequently. Hand like king 10, king queen is also because his c-bet is really low. I don't think he would even c-bet king queen against us. So I think we're gonna actually lose when we check behind here. The if the river was brick, if the river was brick, I would be betting big, and he couldn't be getting away with a king 10 against us for sure. So if the river was like a brick, I would go with a 62 on the river. 62, 63.2. I would go with the B200, and this guy would be calling for sure. Fold the cbet against a hero is lower than against other guys, and when he has a king 10, there is no way he's gonna fold that against us. That would be super good if we actually get the brick there. And the good news is when he's calling the turn, I actually know he's gonna have the way he's playing, he's gonna mostly have hand like a king queen, king 10, or like a ace jack. Okay, he's check raising ace jack from what we saw. So like a jack 10, queen jack. So if we get the brick, all of these hands basically want to bluff catch against bad imagers like we are. We're gonna raise jack 10, blocking ace 10, ace jack, which is his best ace highs. We can put pressure, turn around. We can put pressure, but the guy has 45 went to showdown. Our pressure wouldn't impact him that much. If he's gonna call, he's just gonna call. Jack 3 4. We have deuce 5. We have a combo draw. I'm gonna go bigger size. I think actually here has bigger size has a lot of sense because we want to check behind hands like pocket 4, pocket 5s, deuces like 4x, and he goes with the check raise. Yeah, I think we actually can go. We can just go broke with this hand. Jacks I'm calling against UTG button. We're gonna follow the river because a lot of his. Let me see which size we used. On the turn when he donks, he's actually saying he has. He's saying he has. He's saying he has a flush. So hands like ace deuce, ace 5 with the ace of diamonds, that's gonna call a 3-bet here. Now our flush. And they can similarly play like this. So he would need to turn jack into bluff here, this he's not gonna do. He's not gonna do this with hand like a king queen of spade that check raised and called a tribute for whatever it reason did. So he's not gonna have any of these hands. So also hand like ace queen with the ace of diamond may be possible, or ace king played like this. But I don't think when we let's see our three bet size. Okay, he can still have this type of hands. Because now, like, he's not gonna do this with pocket queens, with queen of diamond, or pocket kings, or aces, or like one pair hand. He's not gonna ever do it. So we just need to think, like, okay, what bluffs he can have now, and bluffs that are like check raising with that size that he used are often gonna be like a with the ace of diamond. I mean, my plan is to call turn and call any river except the fourth diamond because this is like super under bluff spot, super hard to find bluffs. I'm actually like confused. What can you even bluff here? I'm just thinking what I could possibly bluff there. And only thing that has sense for me to be bluffing is 3-4. That I decide to play like this as a check raise call. I mean, that's the only thing I see like bluffing there. That played in this ridiculous way. But I don't think like 3-4 is donking the turn. I'm actually confused about that donk turn because we're gonna have also a lot of flushes, even more than him, because uh, he's not gonna we're gonna call we are calling all hands that are suited. So all hands we're gonna have all of the combination of flushes. Yes, we're gonna trip bet some, but he's not gonna open hands like 3-7 suited, 5-9 suited, 4-9 suited. All of these hands he's not gonna open. Yeah, I'm actually. It's really hard to find bluff. I mean, now I just can't find a bluff from my from my head in this situation. So definitely I'm cool. I'm okay with fold the river because if I can't think about hand that I would be bluffing, because all of the hands that has sense for lead on the turn will contain ace of diamond played like this. So definitely a weird hand. Really, also really interesting hand. And I'm gonna write it. I want to know uh, uh, because this is definitely weird spot. Let's see, those five suited. The board was. I'm gonna check behind with the king 10, and we're gonna go bet 6-9-9. The board was jack 3-4, jack 3-4, two diamonds. Okay, and you see, like now I would block the river. Let's see, he's going to show now. Okay, against him will block also. Really interesting hand, guys. I would need to check it deeply. We're getting called by ace high. He would call ace king even with bigger size, so we maybe lost a little bit of value there. Usually, when I'm in this type of spots, I'm always thinking, how often would I bluff this spot? Because if I'm not gonna bluff it very often and I'm not gonna find bluffs, it's hard that the other guys will. So definitely a pointer in the direction. And here it would be really hard to find bluffs that we beat. Checking the river. Okay. Against this guy, easy fold. Check fold, really low, 41. I mean, it's not really low, but it's lower. That indicate uh, like, oh, he should be betting a bunch on the deuce 10. Like all of the broadways are betting. So queen jack, king jack, ace jack, ace king, mostly betting. Under pairs wants to bet. So yeah, he having king 9. And jack, deuce jack is a fold. Ace jack fold also. Jack 9 we're gonna play. Queen 3 6 we're gonna bet 1/3 on the flop. Hands like ace 4, ace 5 is gonna call. And ace 8, ace 9, ace 10 it's gonna also be calling. Hands like a king 9, king 10 with a spade are calling. Jack 9 I actually like to barrel. It's always nice to block playing like a queen 9 and the queen jack. A little better beat to be having 9 10. 7 9 off. Gonna go with the fold. And do 7 8. Against the bigger size, it's fold. Still a lot of betting is going on these boards in heads up. And all of the lower boards prefer bigger size. If they are not connected, if they are connected, then you're size down. Jack 7 5, you see like you're gonna bet a lot of queen 8, queen 6, king 8, king 9, queen 9, all these type of hands you're gonna bet. Jack 7 5, big blind should be like three betting a lot of jacks. He's also three betting some fives. Uh, and pocket sevens, jacks are always three bet. Pocket sevens are mostly three bet. So he's gonna have heavy range advantage with nuts advantage and strong jack x hand, so he can capitalize that on betting a lot. And we're just gonna be folding our hand, jack 7 5 9. We're checking the flop. Checking the flop. Let's see what happened with jack jack. Jack jack ace 4 to door against them. He played it good. He played it good. 2-7 I'm gonna call. We get the new table. I think this table will be broken. This table, we're gonna see when it breaks. Against 9%, I'm actually gonna just be folding. This guy is super needy with the 3 bets, 3% 3 betting range, small blind versus button. When people have like 12% 3 bet range, big blind versus small blind, then you're gonna find regs that have. I'm gonna go just overbet here. When you see this type of players, and you're gonna find them, the max exploit against them is to fold a bunch and 4 bet more. So yeah. So we're not gonna call hand like ace 10 off against them. You're not gonna call hand like a king 7 suited. You're not gonna call hand like a jack 8 suited that you would generally call. You're not gonna call hand like a 5-7 suited. You're not gonna call ace jack off. That's generally calling a lot. Smaller versus big blind. You're gonna 4-bet ace jack off. You're gonna 4-bet king queen off. You're gonna 4-bet king jack off. You're gonna 4-bet ace 10 off. You're gonna 4-bet king 9 suited a lot. But you're not gonna call them very wide because their range is merged on on the big blind, and that's the first mistake they're doing. The range is merged and not polarized, and their range is a lot narrower than it should be. So they have a stronger range. So calling hands like ace ten off now or ace jack off would be a big mistake. Now we're gonna really bet our ace ten. And jack nine, we're gonna open. So the max exploit, when you see players like that on your pool, you just forget GTO ranges that are calling hand like a king 8 suited or king 6 suited. Just forget about it. Increase your 4-bet range and increase your folding range because you don't want to award them for being nits. Um, I'm still betting 2/3. I'm not gonna go block here. This is pretty insane, I must say. He has pocket tens, which is insane by itself, but he's only calling the river here. And if he raises, we have a super uncomfortable spot with our hand because our hand is not a fold. Double barreling on those with our hand. Oh, we're over 2 hours now. I think that it was really interesting session, and actually, after a long period of not playing, I felt good at the tables. I made mistakes, few of them. I made few misclicks, but generally it's not that bad. I expect a lot worse, so definitely a good. And I will try to make videos like at least like every third day, and we will do. I will mix some study videos are gonna be good. Clear call with ace four. I'm not sure what he wrapped. I mean, even back raise with ace four is not bad. I don't think like checking bad hands like queens or kings has sense there. Or checking back five, sixes, and sevens and raise them on the turn. So we have easy call in the river. He just doesn't trap basically anything. And we also block aces that can play like this. So that's the big factor there. Checking behind the turn. We have 9, we have 10 high there. But the problem is that here that's okay. If he checks, we have to bluff our hand because it's absolute bottom of our range. But we are not trapping much. And I was thinking about which size I want to use there and which is my like most common way to bet there. And I think like pocket sixes and fives you're gonna have. So I would need to build around that. So I need to use bigger size. There was a lot of interesting spots. That hand, especially that I actually now don't know what to do, where the fourth diamond got there, and I'm gonna definitely check that hand in the solver, and I'm gonna put it in my Discord uh, because it's like super interesting hand, and yeah. Uh, what's happening here? Okay, Tudor steps. This table will be broken, but we have another one. Juanju will not gonna play, and then the Andrea Tudor will. We have actually a new one ready, so we're gonna put it there. Clear call with ace deuce, some clear call on the river. We are calling the river here. Clear call with other hand. He used a nice size, he played good. He played it good, we just can't say anything about it. The sizes looked perfect, he did everything good. Our hand is a call, he's aggressive on the rivers, triple barrel 73%. In a heads up game, Jadre with his sizes multi-way, he just makes life easier, and that's the best thing you can ask for reg to make your life easy, and the guy is fulfilling that. So whenever I play against him, I'm just in super comfortable always spot. Anarchy is calling, that's pretty weird, I have to say. Because Anarchy doesn't have on the button. If you just bluff with queen 10. And I mean, with the queen 10, you just have to bluff because Anarchy doesn't have jack or 6 in the range, basically. This is his flatting range in position, so like it's all pairs and suited stuff, so there's no jack X the check behind the flop, rarely gonna happen multi-way because he needs to be aggressive and he would step frequently, so pretty weird spot. Because if you're not betting queen 10 and you're not bluffing it on the river, so we're going in the showdown with the queen high in a line where you can have a full house with the 6 and a jack really often, and anarchy can. That's just indication you don't know how to play, and you're just tapping without any reason, and you don't have any plan for the river, and that's what happened there. Having this is also not great. And this is his step flop range. Let's see. Step flop better and pretty frequently. Okay. Aces on kings here. Check. Ace 9 clear call, and I'm gonna go with the 3-bet 7-5 with 6-8. Ace 9 is just gonna be folding. So maybe guys, next time we can arrange a stream. We can arrange a stream. We will see. Uh, we're folding now. We are sometimes 4-betting as a bluff. We are not calling ace jack off. Terrible flop, guys. Terrible flop that I'm gonna check behind with kings. I'm gonna go with the raise. I would check behind, but when this guy seems like 19-8, but aggressive, he's gonna be stabbing a lot of pairs, betting the turn. We just have to check the river. I still don't see like many 5x hands. There's not like no way except maybe ace 5. But he's gonna have a lot of hands like 8, 8, 9, 8, 10, 8, jack, 8, 8 queen. But still can have 9s and 10s. I'm gonna just jam because they usually jam. Don't 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 shove the flushes. They generally play like that. They don't shove. So when he didn't don't shove, that's like my just from the pool analysis. Uh, think they just don't shove when they have a flush there, and they're not slow playing it. Especially the guy that has 52 aggression frequency. So that's the reason I put this hand into jam. Okay, 2-3-8. Let's go. Calling with sixes. Against him, I will be jamming sixes. He's betting ranges. I think I should be just raising the flop, actually. I jammed the turn with sixes just because he's just gonna be full of shit. Like, queen is actually not the greatest card because I'm gonna have king, queen, ace, queen pretty often. So it's far better to have a jack, to get a jack and king, and he use this size. So generally, I just know he's gonna be just bluffing way over here. So I just uh, jam like equity protection jam in this spot. Think it's okay. We can also call because I just feel this is the spot they will be over bluffing on the turn of queen, and yeah, so I decided to jam. He would like bet any overcard. He's also betting the ace queen on the deuce 3-8, which shouldn't be happening. Where okay, he has a diamond, then it's a little bigger frequency. Okay, let's see here to small blind versus big blind. Fall there. He will be just doing it like really frequently with a bunch of hands like king 9, jack 9, jack 10, ace king, ace 10, ace 5. And I will be often good here, so I just jam to deny him the equity. If he's gonna have ace queen, let it have it. And also you see how good the raise on the flop is against the people that bet range in the spot, because he will probably bet range on the deuce 3-8 for sure. So definitely against them it's good strategy to immediately raise a lot on the flop. Check here and check call and go with 12.7. Check raise here. Check call there. And against him I'm jamming. I really know how he plays and how he thinks. And he's so mergy, he's gonna have a lot of jack X hands here, like jack 9, jack queen. So I will be just jamming against him. and he's so unbalanced because on the river he's not trapping enough, and he would be just always betting the river here. He wouldn't think, oh, okay, the river is bad for my range. He's gonna have this ace on the river a lot more than I will have on this run out. So he will just not think about it. If he's having a two pair, he would just jam. He would just bet like 2/3. He's not thinking, okay, he's gonna have king queen here. I need to check like two pair here pretty often. He's gonna have like ace queen, ace king. I just need to be aware of my range. I need to check some two pairs, some sets on this run out. He's just not playing like that. So he's just playing his hand and way he plays. So I just jam because I would be like bluffing here, and against him I would be bluffing with the jam. So I'm gonna go thin for orbit jam. Usually the totally un-GTO way and way to play the hand, but in this spot I actually like it. I'm thinking, do I want to turn it into bluff there? I think we will, or I think we are good enough. Okay, he has it. Check. Calling with the king jack. Against him I'm raising. Calling here. Jack 8 suited. Okay. Really great board for a range. Stabbing queen jack has complete sense. Let's get back to this hand. He's mergy double barreling, so he will double barrel here hand like a pocket pairs. And similar that we have king jack, we're gonna have king queen, so it's not like our value range. We can just, I mean, raise easy with king queen hand, like a king queen on, without any problems. So we're gonna have queen 7 suited, we're gonna have queen 8, even queen 8 off in the range. So definitely we're gonna have value stuff. And he's just a merge that will always check back the river here, so clear like check raise turn, and when he calls, I'm betting the river. We want to donk jack 9-9 multi-way. We want to donk there. And here we face a call for in this spot. I'm gonna fold. Pretty positions are pretty. We trip it against OTG. He called with the call for. We're just gonna fold. Let's go small. We're gonna go bigger on the river. Alex Suka. I don't know what to think about him. I think he's a winner from what I saw. He's a winner, but and he also we played a heads up few times, but still has a lot of leaks. He's really a passive on the rivers from what I remember. Let's check his river bet pop up just to see. So this is his general river bet, which is out of position. Around 36% in position is okay. In position is a little higher. To see like he's bluffing out of position. Okay, this guy is mixing bluffs and all sort of bluffs, so I like it. I like it. I always respect players that play poker, that are fighting, that are making plays, that are playing range, fear that are fearless, that are attacking. I always have respect for these kind of players, and yeah, and also I need to change tutor definitely. He first I thought he's just bad rag, but after that he contacted me and we also did some hand analysis together. He's on our Discord and he's actually a winner around like 5-6 BBs. So he's good player and I the label has been from beginning. So we will upgrade him. Random Bluffer is also one of the biggest winners and I don't know what to think about him. Look at this. I'm gonna actually call Ace King, guys. I think this is my first call 3-bet small blind versus button with the Ace King in last 2 years. So let's do it. This guy will probably bet range on the check range spot. You're just calling. If he double barrels here, he's just gonna always have an overpair. We're gonna check behind. And now we'll be jamming the river. Because we have all the pocket eights and pocket fours, and we're gonna turn the ace king into bluff. Table number one, really interesting hand, but the guy is disconnected. This what a few guy, I don't know is also about him what to say. He looks nitty. I mean, like on the river 31 aggression, I didn't see like any bluff on the river against. Like only small pots bluffs. I see like only like 12 blind spot. Didn't see like ever bluff in a big spot. Like only blinds of six big blind spots. All the like see finally here now. Only small pots. Only like 6, 12 blinds. So I would say that he's like never bluffing in this spot also. And this guy is unfortunately. So that was also one of the reasons why I jammed against him with he just wouldn't ever bluff. Uh he would bluff on the turn with a bunch of stuff. You see, like his double barrel is 71%, so betting 670. So he would he would bluff the turn but wouldn't bluff the river. So I'm free rolling him if he's never bluffing river. I don't have an incentive to call pocket sixes if he's never bluffing, uh, because when he's jamming, he's gonna have me beat. When he checks, we check behind, we're gonna win, and then I just have incentive to shove because I think he will be just bluffing the queen way too much. And also my pool analysis also shows that, especially on lower boards when the queen hits. And actually, he should be more bluffing on the jack and king, which is way better for his range than a queen, because also our floats on a flop will contain a lot of queen x hands, because we are not folding ever queen, king, queen, or ace queen on the flop. But we're not gonna call king jack or like jack 10 on the flop. But still, it's still betting decent amount. Now we have a tough spot with this hand. And this guy will be jamming everything. Now when he lost this spot, probably tilted. Yep, I just I would win actually. I think Andre knows that he would be jamming really wide. Um, not gonna overbet, just gonna bet the turn. We missed now the good situation, but I mean, tens look. We're going with tens three-way all in. Any spot we're getting it in, it's not great. I'm not sure. Close one. Maybe we lost EV there, but not going it with it because I was sure this guy would jam anything. I was 100% sure in that. I mean anything, like anything playable. He timed out with with hands. Suddenly shoving 40 big blind. Looks like really bluffy, like a weak hand. He's using an orbit there. Step turn. We see he's putting emergy top pairs into the orbit. We're of course calling. And we get like a really gross river. We're calling the river. He can easily have a two pair play like this, so I'm gonna call. We were saved by the bell, but the block has a lot of size, actually, a lot of sense. He doesn't have it. It was okay. It was button versus big blind. I thought the positions were different. Now I'm actually not sure. Now he doesn't have eights, doesn't have nines. So yeah, he's mergy with the step, so he's gonna overbet like a jack X. But jack X can block. Eights doesn't have nines, doesn't have jack 10 maybe. But even these hands can block, just can't block the river. So yeah, I don't see much sense in blocking the river here. I think he should have bet bigger. I would actually fold the river. So that's the one thing I would actually be folding. So yeah, on a bigger size. So he actually get the most. River is super good for his bluffs. Like any bluff that is overbetting is going to contain a queen or diamonds. So yeah, fold versus delay massive. Let's see his check flop range. You see like really bad checking range across like trash and middle pairs is how it looks. We need to fold ace 10 against 75% open, not full stack. 5 bird stone on 2 tables, the guy that I didn't ever hear about. So probably, I mean, he's full stack on 2 tables, so he isn't the fish, but probably weak rake. I don't think that fish will play on 2 tables, full stack, waiting for a big blind to come. Or we get a quick call. Okay, we're gonna get big size. I would say he just has a jack X played like this, as fast call. And he did had a jack. He just can't do anything about it. Clear call, call, call. We're gonna open 5-8. We're gonna check 10 deuce 5. We're gonna check range against a button, which is maybe this guy is also not a fish. I mean, 29-18 looks more like a weak rake. Why did I mark him as a fish? Looks like a weak rake. And we're just gonna bet like block. We have 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s that want to block a lot. Bigger 10x hands. This is super weird. He's not gonna have many 5x in the range. Maybe ace 5 suited, but it should be 3-betting mostly. And see, he's doing it with 7s. He's doing it with 9s. I just thought in my head, is he doing it with pocket 7s, 8s? That was what I was thinking. And that's why, I mean, he rarely gonna have 5, so that's why it's good to know your opponents, because now if I knew that he's not gonna he's gonna play pocket nines, like, because I thought myself it's possible he's gonna play hands like 7s, 8s like this and check back the river, then definitely we want to put here pressure with hands like queen jack of spades, just raise here immediately, because he will just not gonna have this 5x, but he used 4x. That was what worried me. Pocket nines, we're gonna call a 4-bet. Queen 9 deuce, we're calling. He should be betting a lot, because he's gonna have ace queen off in the range, and we're not gonna call ace queen off with 4-bet in these positions, so he should be betting. Basically, like, he only has few tens and some like half jacks, so he's gonna hit this board like king queen, ace queen off, king queen. Some of the king queen off will be there, all the king of aces, all the aces, all the ace queen, ace king. He should be betting basically range. And he's double barreling. Let's see, he's double barreled. Ace king should be there, like he's having some king 10 hands. Block the river here. Kings should be jamming the river here. Aces sometimes can call, can check call. Kings are jamming. Ace king is also good. Hmm. Here's the thing, this is really underbluffed, but I just don't see what the guy is repping. And we block 6-8, so I'm gonna call. Okay. Really, really underbluffed, but our hand is really, really good as a call. But really, really underbluffed. So maybe I don't want to call a fucking guy like 29 aggression on the river with this hand. This was mistake to call against them because we know by the pool analysis it's super super underbluffed. And when you see especially guy like aggression 23 general, you see like this is mistake, big mistake. This is super big mistake, and this is something that happens when I'm out of the rhythm. I would never do this. Like this payoff, this guy. I mean, the hand is good. We definitely block 6-8 that he should be having off, and he has. He's calling 57. He's a 70% of range, calling or everything. So he's gonna have 6-8 off. So definitely, I mean this. He's repping really narrow there, but the guy is like this guy will never ever be. Just think about bluffing in this situation. River pop up, let's check. River bet, like river bet is bluff doesn't exist in the river pop up. Uh, a river bet frequency 10%, out of position 25%, in position. I should be slapping myself hard in the face now because like insane that I just snap called the guy. Uh, I have the HUD. I can just go into and see. Wow, easy game, but no, I just and like bad beats are not tilting me, but when I do this, it's super tilting, and there I have a step turn with 1/3 on the ace jack turn. Now I have a block on the river. And this guy is some kind of neat. That is wrapping really narrow. Fold the turn. Great turn for his bluffing range. We just can't do anything. Yep, definitely. I noticed the pause in my game. Not that much in my thought process, but in my decision making, it's longer. I take more time for some stuff, and I don't process it great like I did before. So the pause has definitely leave leave a mark. Okay, we're betting 359. The hands that you want to bluff here would be like 10 jack of diamonds and spades, queen 10, queen jack. He doesn't really bet the jack 9. Yeah. We're actually doing a lot of 20% here in a GTO. A lot of 20%. A lot of 20% is going on. I work on it a bit. but I didn't incorporate it much. But this is the spot we want to do, this 20. But we were a little deeper, so that's the reason I'm going to one third. Because people play against 20% in these spots terribly. Basically, you're not allowed to fold anything. You need to check raise also a lot. People will not know what to check raise. They will not have these borderline calls that they should be having. So nice way to exploit them. But when we're a little deeper and we were like 140 blinds deep, I just think we want to bet one third then. Trade suited. Still gonna open. So we have some probably a nit. Anarchy with a Tudor. We're gonna bet against him. Let's see the hand. Wow, multi-pot. Anarchy should be. Wow, Anarchy didn't donk. But really good spot for donking. Because Tudor will check behind like he did with Queen. Oh no, it hand played. Yeah, he Tudor. I mean, sorry guys. So the Tudor did check behind with queens, like he should be doing. So definitely he played it great. And now let's see what happened. Now this guy's stabbing, Anarchy is raising, and Tudor is calling. Yeah, pretty tough spot for Tudor. I don't think he has any other choice than call. Call or fold. He just can't get, and pretty tough spot for him. If he could go like a fold there, it would be such a great play. Weird check by Anarchy, definitely weird check. Now suddenly, now suddenly, Anarchy looks like a 10x, and Tudor is putting him on a 10x, and he overbet jams there. Yep. Yep. We're just gonna go with the overbet there. 10.4, and we're gonna go with the 3-bet there. A really interesting hand, guys. We didn't play it, but super interesting hand. And I must say, I'm pretty surprised by Anarchy play that he checked there with fives. And I would jam also in a Tudor shoes because it just looks a lot like Anarchy had hand like a king 10 or ace 10. And I'm not expecting check there at all. So a pretty weird check by Anarchy. I just don't understand why. I mean, really strange. Really strange. Why Anarchy did check bigger? Because to me, Tudor looks like an overpair, and why is Anarchy checking? Because he wants to bluff. I think he has to shove, and now when he also has the orbit there, so he has fold equity. He looks strong, and he just checks there. Really interesting hand. Yeah, we're just gonna go with the delay here, and I'm gonna go one third. It's also important to find bluffs in these delay spots because you're gonna check hand like a queen 9 here, and yeah, now we're gonna overbet the river. He looks like a 10 or pocket pair mostly to me. I'm happy with today's session because they were full of really interesting hands. And whenever it's like that, I know I'm going to learn something because I'm going to check these hands into solver and I'm going to see, I'm going to ask my guys from Discord what would they do, and I'm definitely going to learn something. So that's always good when it happens. I'm going to ask Anarchy about explanation why he did check because I just don't understand why. Okay, the guy just triple barrel a6, which is like never triple barrel. Maybe he is not a nit. We will see. Guys, today's will be rounding at 3 hours. So today 3 hours. I will maybe do a stream. If you want, please tell me in a comment. And also, again, asking you join our Discord. At least once a week, maybe twice, we arrange study where we all study together. Best players from stars and mid stakes are there with us, and you can like get really good informations. You can see a thought process of the guys that are crushing the game, and yeah, it's free. All it takes is your time and yeah, and a goodwill, nothing more. And also, it would be helpful if you subscribe to my channel. If you didn't, if you like the videos, please like it so I know that my content is good, and then I will have more motivation for doing it, uh, because I'm not doing this for myself. I don't gain much for like showing people how I play. My opponent can take that, get to know my game better, get to know my thought process better, have a better understanding of how I perceive spots so they can exploit me maybe. It's possible. So yeah, so if you like it, let me know. If you have a hand questions about hands, and you will have, like why did I shove pocket sixes against that guy on the queen, I will answer you. If you have some uh, comments about some hands that you would maybe play differently, also please let me know. And yeah, we will always discuss hands. I will see another view, so all the good things will happen. Let's see in a deep pop-up. So this is 150 blinds deep, how people play. So his tribute is 13%. He's checking there, and the board is nice for my range. We have all the sevens plus. We also have some queens in the range. Actually, a lot of queens. I'm checking pocket eights. We're gonna bluff with pocket fours, five, sixes. I'm gonna check eights. He's also c-betting 67%. A lot of trash and middle pairs. And this has completely no sense. He's now overbetting into the range where we have 8-9 suited, 9-10, Jack-9, Ace-9. That's why I said I just can't put him, like, is he good or not? Because this play doesn't have any sense. We're gonna go overbet turn. 3-bet with a 5-6 suited. So in the future, uh, there will be a lot more content. I will also stream. I will be working, studying, playing bigger limits. We're gonna mix everything. I'm gonna also be playing some poker live. Uh, so definitely mix of everything, and the good times are ahead of us. Definitely. Ace King call. Um, the way he plays, he would be generally overbetting with a hand like a deuce and fives on the turn. And we block ace 10 and king 10 there. And I think 7 8, he would be also. Yes, I think 7 8, he would be overbetting for sure. Let's see his after betting turn overbet river. Uh, he always used the small overbet. Okay, he can still like do it with a two pair or ace 10, king 10 because we look weak. He can still do it. We're gonna have some 9x hands, 7 9 always, hand like ace 9 occasionally. He's really on the rivers. When he overbets, we saw just one bluff, and that was like a small overbet. This was almost 3x. Look at this. When he called for betted ace 10 suited, he used from 10 to 20, 20 to 20, 21. From 10 to 21, he's now going 3x. I think we want to call like a queen jack. Okay, guys, so last few hands. We are now 3 hours, so this video will be 3 hours. I enjoyed it. Hope you did also. Uh, the next video we'll also think about something. Uh, in my Discord, we also have the review sessions. So players just record their session to me, and then I go step by step and telling them what I would do, and basically trying to find their mistakes and their leaks, and uh, you can also apply there in my Discord. So I will put it also on the YouTube. The last guy was keeping it cool. We're gonna just give up with the 4-6-5-8 off. Okay. So he said that it my insights were really helpful for him. You have that session on the YouTube. I put it on the YouTube. So definitely, when the people are checking King 10, King XX basically, and they attributed it, I'm just going to check range. So I'm going to check like all my hands. So all of the spots where they should be betting high frequency when they're checking my My exploit would be to just check behind range. So I will have pocket sixes, king six, suited king ten, king queen. I will have everything now on the turn, and I will start be playing on the turn. We have clear call. And call there. This looks so trappy to me. I'm gonna check behind. I didn't expect this. It looks so trappy to me. Like we look like a flag. He doesn't know our strategy, so he doesn't know I'm gonna have all these strong hands there. This is actually greatest turn for our bluffs. We have 8-10 really frequently in 6-8, so I'm definitely gonna bet. And we're just gonna jam the river on the brick. We're just gonna jam the river, like we said. And that will be the last hand for today, guys. So wish our luck. Wish us luck. And he has 8-10. This is really unlucky. Really, really unlucky. He bets 2/3 in the multi-way with 8-10 and calls a check raise. And he also called a big check raise. Yeah, nothing we can do, guys. Last hand didn't go well, but it was really interesting session, so I hope guys you like it and see you soon.